Tuesday, January 13th, 2-25. In today's BTG episode, Anita returns home from chemo and learns Vernon's been lying to her. The Dupris rally around one of their own while Nicole spirals. Jacob and Elon have a heart-to-heart. Ashley goes on a date with Grayson the lab tech. Read the last BTG recap. Andre reads Bill for filth, Ted and Carlton make up, and Tomas overhears Hayley. At home, Vernon treats his wife like a porcelain doll. She complains. He tells her that Dany's got the BRCA gene, not Nicole. She sighs and complains about what's coming for the kids. She hates that she's passing on an intruder to her kids that she fought to keep safe. She wants to go to them, but Vernon wants her safe. She bellows that she'll do what she wants. They argue, but he knows he won't win, so barks that he'll get the car brought around. At Dany's, she waits for news from her children. Andre reminds her there's a chance they won't get the gene. She doubts that and reels over possibilities. He distracts her with a kiss and gets sexy with her. He admits no place felt like home until her. She admits she was mourning something that meant nothing. You're my home too. Anita and Vernon show up, and while Anita runs up to see her kid, Vernon talks to Andre about his feelings. He tells Andre that Ted and Bill didn't make it in the Dupri family. He suggests Andre be the soft place to land for Dany. Otherwise, there'll be someone else waiting to be Dany's safe space. Andre tells him Bill already reared his ugly head, but he drew a line. Upstairs, Anita feels awful for passing this gene on. Dany knows it's not her fault and is proud to be her daughter. They catch up about her going in for another appointment and hug. Carlton rushes to Uptown when Nicole texts. He knows she had the results back today. She tells him she was cleared, but her sister tested positive. He explains what she already knows, what everyone's been repeating, that it's not necessarily a death sentence. She drinks and tells him she knows the science, but Dany's her sister. She guzzles her booze, and he seems to think she's flawless. She denies it. She's just learned to cope. She orders another drink from Hot Joss and gets emotional, thinking about her sissy. She snaps that she called herself the family fixer. He thinks it sounds noble and exhausting. It is, she tells him. She talks again about how her mother was born without a silver spoon in her mouth and how she beat the odds to become who she is today. What if she doesn't beat this one? She downs the beer. Carlton gives her a pep talk that this mind over matter is real. Cancer doesn't care about that, Nicole says. She orders more beer, and he stops her and tries to get her to calm down. At the station, Elon wants to know about Jacob's sticky fingers case. Jacob's daydreaming and struggles to tell his dad what happened. Elon's not happy that his son is distracted. Jacob admits why. Elon is sad to hear this while Jacob's scared to death. He'll say a prayer for her in church on Sunday. Jacob will like that. He's told to go home. Come back tomorrow. At the nurse's hub, Ashley gives Naomi a pep talk, and Naomi thanks her for getting them in fast. She brings up the lab tech that Ashley's mooning over. Chelsea appears. She hates needles, but seems fine. Madison notes that the nurses swoon over Grayson, while Naomi pressures her bestie to accept a date with the man. Nearby, Chelsea tells her girl she wants to go away with her, do something spontaneous. It's time for her to start living. By the hub, Naomi tells Ashley not to have a boring coffee date with the hottie. She tells her to do a foursome with her and Jacob. Grayson walks up, and they talk about her finally agreeing to do coffee. She tells him she wants to do Uptown. They all arrive at Uptown, and Naomi tells her husband that there have been a lot of sad things happening, so she wanted to do healing. She motions to the bar, where her friend is with the lab tech. Jacob can see his wife is hoping they work out so that they can do couples dates. They talk about the cancer issue. Grayson tells Ashley he's been sitting there, wondering why the scotch bottles aren't with their friends. Ashley's baffled. He explains that he realized that the bartender must have organized them by size and shape rather than type. He thinks it's much cooler. You think that's lame, he says, noticing her eyes glaze over. He relates the shape of the bottles to her body shape, and she laughs incredulously. They're about to kiss when she notices her bestie is watching. She starts talking about tying a cherry stem into a knot and how they should head to her house. They go meet Jacob before they head to Ashley's. Nicole and Carlton bring the party back to her place. She's drunk. He tries to get her to stop, but she wants to be herself. She kicks him out and tells him he can take Miss Perfect out when she returns to her factory settings. He stops her. He won't let her drink alone. They put on some soft music and dance. She kisses him and jams her tongue down his throat. He stops her and then tells her not tonight. He won't be her escape. He wants to be more. She passes out on the sofa and he holds her while she sleeps. Back at the hospital, Chelsea and Madison kiss, and Chelsea repeats several times, in different ways, that she wants to live. She wants them to have an adventure. They embrace, and Madison looks anything but convinced. Hey babes, welcome back to Gossip Delight. It's your girl Daisy, and trust me, today's tea is scorching, sticky, and absolutely unmissable. Buckle up, because we're diving straight into the drama. Here are your spoilers for Beyond the Gates. On Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. This is one of the more intriguing plot twists. In Wednesday's episode, Joey consults with Bill on a legal matter. Now we know this has something to do with the partnership that Joey is entering into with Leslie, and that the free clinic idea will now be able to get off the ground with Joey's financial input. But it's still weird to think that Leslie couldn't finance it on her own. What with all her millions? Joey is a cautious man, and Leslie has irked him more than a little, so this meeting with Bill will be about finding a way to keep Joey safe from incrimination, and how to word things legally so Leslie can take the fall for using laundered money. Keep an eye on how this progresses. In Wednesday's episode, Hayley continues to enact her deadly plan, while Leslie's romantic interlude takes a dangerous turn. Hayley has had it up to here with Bill always running to Dany Dupri, and wants to speed this process up of Bill croaking it and getting all the millions she thinks is owed to her. As for Leslie, spoilers show her and Marcel in her Hotel Artoum, and Marcel has taken his pistol out of his holster and showing Leslie, who looks more than uncomfortable with it, how to hold it. Why on earth would Leslie need a gun? In Wednesday's episode, Vanessa shows up for a friend in need while Pamela bolsters her bestie. Vanessa will be there for Nicole to help her through this rough time. Nicole has never been in the position where she may lose her little sister, and this BRCA gene testing has scared her more than we know. It's been a while since we saw Dany's bestie Pamela, and this is the opportune time for her to arrive back in Fairmont Crest and be there for Dany. Make sure to check out The Scoop and the next week sneak peek for a deeper look into what's to come this week and what you have to look forward to from your favorite characters and not-so-favorite characters in the DMV. Beyond the Gates spoilers for the next 2 weeks, January 12th, 23rd, suggest that Naomi Hawthorne could crack, while some new characters are slated to debut, and Dany Dupri will gravitate toward Bill Hamilton. The proverbial poop hit the fan during the week of January 5th to 9th, after Dany and Nicole Dupri received their genetic marker test results, and over the next 14 days, more drama will ensue. Dany will spiral at the thought of having genetic markers for breast cancer during the week of January 12th, 16th, in the aftermath of her test results, while her family will rally around her, and her bestie, Pamela Curtis, will be at her side. She'll still struggle. Still, as Chelsea Hamilton will alert Bill to the situation, there will be trouble. Andre Richardson will draw a line in the sand where Bill is concerned, and while the lawyer can be there for Chelsea and Naomi Hawthorne, Dany's current husband will make it clear he can take care of his wife. With that said, even Hayley Hamilton and Dany will clash over the fact that Dany and Bill need to stay in their respective lanes with their current spouses. But will they listen? Meanwhile, both Chelsea and Naomi will ensure to get tested during the week of January 12th, so it'll be another 5 days of sitting on pins and needles for the Dupri family. BTG spoilers imply that Anita Dupri will feel as if she's reached her limit, and she's not wrong. While Vernon Dupri will initially try to hide Dany's results, the Dupri matriarch will finally find out and rush by her youngest daughter's side. Still, even the strongest people can break down at times, and by the end of the week, Anita will feel defeated. Between her chemo treatments, Dany's news, and worrying about Chelsea and Naomi's fate, Anita will be done. With that said, someone from the family, if not Vernon himself, will likely have some advice or encouraging words, so Anita might be down, but she won't be out completely. Across town, Bill will be busy with other things as Joey Armstrong will approach him for legal help. This will probably be about organizing the foundation for the Doug McBride Free Clinic project that he's working on with Leslie Thomas, on the legal side of things. However, in the land of Fairmont Crest, it's always good to expect the unexpected. Maybe Joey has a devious scheme that includes Bill? Only time will tell. Elsewhere, Hayley will continue her poisonous plight to off Bill, so she'll be busy encouraging him to drink his tea. But will he continue to take the bait? In some fun news, Shanice Johnson and Ted Richardson will have a heated encounter. So will they hit the sheets? All arrows are pointing in this direction, so it'll be nice to see these two continue to get closer. Beyond the Gates spoilers for the Tuesday, January 13th. Episode note that Grayson Perez will enter the canvas, as soap vet Jordi Villasuso debuts on the CBS soap. The lab technician will take Ashley Morgan out on a date, but it sounds like things will turn steamy fast between the two, so it'll be interesting to see the sparks that fly. Meanwhile, Beyond the Gates spoilers for the week of January 19 to 23 suggest that Dany could gravitate toward Bill. Chelsea and Naomi will receive their test results, and one of their daughters will likely end up with a genetic marker, which could send the parents reeling and bonding. The last time a crisis hit, when Chelsea was kidnapped, Dany and Bill were in each other's arms, so if one or both of the young ladies have the genetic markers for breast cancer, it's only inevitable that the exes will get close and potentially cross a line. Then there's concern for Naomi. During the week of January 5-9, her husband Jacob Hawthorne could see that the stress of what her family was going through was taking a toll on his wife. Jacob suggested that Naomi go to therapy, and she shot him down. Whether Chelsea or Naomi tests positive, the female attorney could spiral. So is she headed for a mental health meltdown? In other character debuts, the McBride twins are heading back to the land of Fairmont Crest very soon. Donald McBride is confirmed for Season 2, and there's been a buzz that his twin sister, Deanna McBride, will return. Nothing has been announced, but online speculation suggests that young actress Madison Alsobrook has been cast in the part. As the Doug McBride Free Clinic is being organized, will the two twins return for the launch, or possibly help with the planning? Beyond the Gates spoilers hint that a ton of drama, romance, and plenty of campiness is in store for viewers over the next 2 weeks, so fans will have to tune in to see how all the chaos plays out for themselves. The Tuesday, January 13th, spoilers for Beyond the Gates focus on Anita and Vernon. Now that Anita's first chemo treatment is in the books, she quickly realizes Vernon has been lying to her. Meanwhile, Nicole spirals. Oh, Vernon! He wants to protect his wife from the pain. Knowing he can't do that with the pain Anita is feeling from the cancer treatment, he opted to lie to her about knowing the results of Dany and Nicole's genetic blood tests. He told her he hadn't heard anything, when in fact he knew better. Martin had called him and told him that while Nicole's test came back negative for the BRCA gene, Dany's had come back positive. Vernon couldn't find it within himself to tell Anita the good and bad news while she received her chemotherapy treatment. However, as soon as Anita returns home from chemo, she learns Vernon has been lying to her, and that won't sit well with her. She doesn't want to be protected. She won't want to be coddled. That's not who she is. She will want to be there for her daughters, regardless of the results, and regardless of what she is going through. Vernon should know that by now. Dr. Nicole Dupri is a renowned psychiatrist who wants to be the fixer for her family's problems. But cancer isn't something that can be controlled. Its effects aren't just hard on the body of the person diagnosed with the disease. It's traumatic for everyone in a mental health sense. On Tuesday, look for Nicole to spiral, seeing what her mother and father are going through. And knowing what Dany is now dealing with is a lot to handle. And this is on top of what Nicole herself has been going through for the last year. It's understandable that she's struggling. The weekly teasers also reveal that the Dupris rally around one of their own while Nicole spirals. This could be about Dany now that the family discovers she tested positive for the BRCA gene. Hopefully, someone from the family will also notice Nicole is experiencing a rough moment, which is not like her at all. Look for Jacob and Elon to have a heart-to-heart. The police chief and the detective haven't exactly been on the same page, either professionally or personally, as of late. So, what will this one-on-one conversation cover? Their personal issues, such as the return of Isaiah, or their professional issues? If their in-depth chat does veer into the professional, does the name Joey Armstrong come up? Finally, it sounds like Ashley's love life may start turning around on Tuesday. That's when Ashley goes on a date with a coworker, and this colleague of hers looks a lot like Jordi Villasuso, who makes his BTG debut. We first spotted the actor in a special Season 2 promo. In it, his character was out and about and getting cozy with Ashley. Beyond the Gates spoilers reveal that Andre Richardson is a busy little bee in Fairmont Crest. Between his duties as Dany Dupri's husband, his philanthropic activities, and his freelance photography business. The same could be said about his character's portrayer, who was recently awarded with quite the honor. Freeman hopped on Instagram recently to tell the fun news to his fans. He posted a poster of the annual MLK Scholarship Breakfast taking place on Saturday, January 17th. This is for the Dolan, AL chapter. Freeman's caption started off with, "Honored to announce that I'll be delivering the keynote speech for my chapter's annual MLK Scholarship Breakfast this year." The actor went on to say, "As a longtime admirer and follower of Dr. King's powerful message and legacy, this moment feels truly full circle. After months of preparation, the day has finally arrived." Freeman states in his IG caption, "To all my family, friends, supporters, and fans in the area, be sure to grab your tickets by visiting www.rcupsilonlambda.com to reserve your seat or table." He ends the post with, "Let's come together to celebrate MLK Day and support scholarships that empower the next generation. I can't wait to see you all there." The caption also added, "Design by Bro, at Edison Smithy." Fans rushed to the comment section with encouraging words and congratulations. However, Freeman's Beyond the Gates colleagues also offered their support. Amber Michelle and Jen Jacob liked their castmate's Instagram post. In addition, Michelle hit the comment section by writing, "Yas, Sean!" Freeman replied to Amber with, "Thanks, Ambry. There's a time to play around and a time to be serious. This is one of those times." In addition, Jaden Lucas Miller also commented with 3 fire emojis and 1 hand-up emoji, to which Freeman replied, "My boy, thanks a lot. Deeply honored, for sure." In addition, Marquita Goings commented on the post with 4 hand clap emojis, and Freeman noted to his BTG colleague, "Thank you." On behalf of everyone here, we congratulate Sean Freeman on this incredible honor. Comment your thoughts below. Watch the CBS Soap Daily for all the Fairmont Crest drama, and visit CTS regularly for the hottest Beyond the Gates news, updates, and spoilers. Here's what went down Monday, January 12th, 2026 on Beyond the Gates. When Ted and Carlton brought out the white flags, Kat boldly made a beautiful reference, and Ashley used the old gray matter. On Beyond the Gates, having learned that their mother had inherited the BRCA gene mutation from Anita that could potentially cause Dany to develop cancer, Naomi went into action mode trying to set up a screening for her and Chelsea, who Morley ned toward inaction out of fear for Dany. Kat reminded Chelsea that Naomi was scared and that being a doer was Naomi's way of handling it. Naomi became frustrated when she had little luck trying to schedule appointments over an app and decided to go to the hospital in person to get her and Chelsea booked. The lawyer then realized that she needed to let Bill know that Dany had tested positive, but Chelsea promised to take care of it personally. Seeing that her beloved cousin needed a boost, Kat called Mr. I Have a Dream Martin to uplift Chelsea with a few well-chosen words. Cuddling Dany in her room, Nicole recalled a time she had broken her arm as a 10-year-old after trying to ride a horse she was warned she wasn't ready for. Dany laughed about Buttercup and remembered that she had cried for 3 days once Nicole had gotten out of the hospital, because Nicole had a cast and she didn't. Nicole chuckled that she had handmade a cast so that her little sister wouldn't feel left out, wishing she could make things better for Dany now with a little cardboard and some Scotch tape. Dany didn't want Nicole to feel guilty because she wasn't a carrier of the mutation. She also wanted to stay strong for the sake of her daughters, but she was uncertain as to whether or not she could handle Chelsea or Naomi also testing positive on top of Anita's cancer battle. When Dany became emotional, Nicole hugged her and encouraged her to cry things out. After a moment, Dany decided that her girls needed her. Nicole, however, said that Dany would be unable to pour from an empty cup and advised her sister to take a moment to regroup, preferably soaking in a bath. Dany took the advice and Nicole went downstairs to check on her nieces, telling Chelsea that she also would benefit from a dose of self-care or distraction. Chelsea was unsure until Kat told Nicole how there was still a chance that a Chelsea Cat bag could be displayed during Oscar celebrations, even if they'd been edged out of the Golden Globes. Nicole held that Chelsea's work wasn't silly or vapid compared to Anita's cancer, and that they all needed to remember that Anita was the only one fighting the disease. Plus, it was important that they knew their risks going forward. Chelsea decided to show Kat some new sketches she had crafted with an eye toward the Oscars. Kat was ready to boast about the designs to Eye on Fashion magazine, but Chelsea stopped Kat from clicking send. Chelsea admitted that getting back to work was helping her to feel better in light of the Berkshire news. Naomi found Ashley at Garland Memorial and complained about the bureaucracy that was driving her nuts in terms of arranging blood work for her and Chelsea. As Naomi whinged about the app asking her to verify her identity 17 different ways, Ashley offered to step in, but sensed that Naomi was going into overdrive to avoid feeling anything about the latest turn of events. "I'm not scared. I'm pissed," Naomi eventually blurted out after Ashley warned her that she needed to get some things out of her system. Naomi felt that life had been one disaster after the next, between Hayley seducing Bill away from Dany, Dany's volatile reactions, Chelsea's kidnapping, and now Anita's cancer. When Naomi lamented that getting the blood tests scheduled was the one thing she was able to control, Ashley called in a few favors, asking someone named Grayson to stay late to do the blood panel. All Ashley had to do was agree to have coffee with the man. "Did you just prostitute your dating life for my blood test?" Naomi asked, as amused as she was shocked. Ashley replied that it was hardly a sacrifice, since Grayson was hot. She wasn't sure she was ready to get back out there, but having to leverage a meetup with Grayson was at least a good enough reason for a baby step. At the law firm, Tomas was explaining how new client Lynette had been set up on embezzlement charges because she wouldn't sleep with her boss. Tomas wanted Hayley to research motivations, which she took to mean looking into Lynette's credibility. She had to be corrected that it was Lynette's boss who needed to be investigated. Hayley, Tomas, and Caroline all noticed that Bill was distracted. He was thinking back to sitting with Dany and telling their daughters about the BRCA mutation risk. Then, Bill received a call from Chelsea and frantically looked for his keys, not telling Hayley why he suddenly had to leave. Tomas had come back looking for Bill, only for Hayley to tell her coworker she didn't know why Bill wasn't there. "It's not like he talks to me about these things," Hayley griped. Getting a text from Kat, Tomas relayed that Nicole hadn't tested positive while Dany had, which made Hayley realize that the news was why Bill had torn out of the office. Hayley recanted and was certain that she must seem horrible for being upset about Bill running to Dany, but Tomas deemed Hayley human and maintained that Bill was more concerned about his daughters than his ex-wife. After Hayley thanked Tomas for talking her down, she growled privately for Bill to go ahead and dote on Dany, because, "When I'm done, she'll be crying over your casket." Hayley then tried to reach Randy, leaving him a voicemail expressing her exasperation over Bill putting Dany first. Not knowing that Tomas was about to come in and could hear her, Hayley told Randy that she had used her bag of tricks on Bill to no avail. So now it was time to kick things up a notch. Andre and Ted ran into each other at the country club, each asking the other how they were holding up while waiting to hear back about Dany and Nicole's test results. Ted knew, as a doctor, that fear wasn't just the domain of patients. The apprehension their loved ones felt was just as real. Andre admitted that he was trying to stay strong for Dany, but that he was just as terrified as she was. The uncle and nephew spotted Carlton, while Ted grumbled, Andre reported that Ted's estranged friend and business partner had actually given him good advice about how to be there for Dany during the current health crisis. Ted couldn't deny that Carlton could be insightful, and Andre felt that Ted should convey that to him, whether or not a woman had come between them. When Andre continued that Ted and Nicole had already been separated by the time Carlton had expressed an interest in her, Ted scoffed that there wasn't a statute of limitations when it came to taking your best friend's ex. After Andre pointed out that life was too short to stay mad at people, Ted surprised Carlton by approaching him and thanking him for advising Andre. It made sense to Carlton that Ted had had their team arrange their schedules so that they didn't have to encounter each other. Carlton understood that Ted felt betrayed. Ted amazed Carlton by saying he didn't feel that way anymore. It still burned like hell that Nicole had moved on with Carlton, but Ted acknowledged that he had been the one to screw up. There had been no need for Carlton to check with Ted before pursuing Nicole. Ted was just glad that Nicole had someone in her life whom she could count on, the way Andre did with Dany. Ted's only counsel for Carlton was to play things smarter with Nicole than he had. Nicole would act like she could handle everything on her own, Ted recalled. Plus, she would put a professional veneer on everything. "Don't believe her," Ted beseeched his friend when Nicole said she didn't need someone to lean on. "I don't know where this leaves us," Carlton replied, but he offered to be there for Ted when he needed to be reminded that he was more than his mistakes. While Nicole waited by herself for Andre to come home, Bill burst in, demanded to know where Dany was. Nicole informed her former brother-in-law that he was speaking as if Dany were still his wife, and that Dany didn't need his hurricane energy while trying to get her head around having inherited the BRCA gene mutation. Bill didn't listen and rushed up the stairs to find Dany, who was out of her bath. Nicole watched as Bill pulled a confused Dany into a hug. Dany told Bill that he should be with their girls, not her. Her father had been right to define her and Bill as comfortable to each other as old shoes. "Vernon Dupri is comparing me to footwear?" Bill asked, both offended and tickled. Dany said that the role of supporter wasn't his to fill anymore, and besides, even the great Bill Hamilton was no match for the chaos surrounding the gene variant. "Don't bet on it, beautiful," Bill crooned. Andre returned home and saw from Nicole's dour expression that Dany had indeed tested positive. "Damn," Andre said solemnly, promising Nicole that he would be her sister's emotional anchor. Nicole warned Andre that Bill was upstairs. When Andre got there, he found Bill's arms around his wife. Bill declared Dany stronger than Andre thought, with Andre retorting that he didn't need Bill to tell him how strong his wife was. After Bill said he would be there for Dany, in addition to the girls, Andre escorted him downstairs. "Something on your mind, playboy?" Bill sneered. Andre recognized that Dany was feeling vulnerable, so he'd let Bill's visit slide. But he didn't want to see Bill hanging all over his wife again. When Bill asked if he was being threatened, Andre spat, "I don't think I stuttered, counselor." Unaffected, Bill said that he would always be there for Dany and didn't need Andre's approval to do so. Andre found that rich, considering Bill had been too busy cheating on Dany while actually married to her. While Chelsea and Naomi might indeed need Bill as a father, Andre stood firm that his wife was no longer Bill's concern. Beyond the Gates, spoilers for Tuesday, January 13th, suggest some bombshells on the horizon in Fairmont Crest. Vernon Dupri tells a lie, while the Dupris rally around a loved one. Plus, Jordi Villasuso debuts. Find out more about Tuesday's episode below. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Tuesday, January 13th, reveal that Anita Dupri will return from her chemotherapy, only to find out Vernon's been lying to her. It looks like Anita will find out that Dany Dupri has tested positive for a genetic marker, and she'll be upset. Vernon tried to keep this from her, as she has so much on her plate, but it looks like this won't be a secret for much longer. Meanwhile, the rest of the Dupri family will rally around Dany as she struggles with this news. Elsewhere, Nicole Dupri will struggle as well. While her test was negative, Nicole may feel guilty that her sister and her daughters are suffering so much. Across town, Jacob Hawthorne will have a heart-to-heart with his dad, Elon Hawthorne. Will he tell him about what's going on with his wife, Naomi Hawthorne, and her family? Jacob is super worried about Naomi as she's been shutting down communication with her husband. Will this super couple be okay? Only time will tell. Finally, Jordi Valasuso will debut on the show as Grayson pairs a lab technician at the hospital. In fact, he'll take nurse Ashley Morgan on a date, and it looks like sparks will fly. The two are shown at a bar in this week's BTG preview, flirty, as Ashley tells him to come back to her place. Yikes! Will they hit the sheets? On their first date? Fans will have to tune in to find out. What storyline are you most looking forward to during Tuesday's show? Comment below. Watch the CBS soap daily for all the Fairmont Crest drama, and visit CTS regularly for the hottest Beyond the Gates news, updates, and spoilers. In the January 12th episode of Beyond the Gates, Bill raced to Dany's side after learning she tested positive for the BRCA gene. Bill riled up both Hayley and Andre with his behavior, so they both made big declarations. It was a no-brainer for Bill to leave Hayley the second he found out that Dany tested positive for the BRCA gene. Not only did he ditch Hayley, but he also didn't even tell her what was going on. Instead, Hayley figured it out after Tomas revealed that he had received a text from Kat informing him that Nicole's test had come back negative. Alone, Hayley lost it over Dany, interfering with her master plan to get rid of Bill yet again. She even called her cousin Randy to devise a plan to eliminate her Dany problem. Bill had an emotional moment with Dany before she sent him to be with Naomi and Chelsea. Their bond was amplified in the brief time he held her. Hayley wasn't the only one who had an issue with Bill being there for Dany. Andre caught Bill in his home and made it crystal clear that he was Dany's husband, not Bill. The fact that Hayley and Andre are not first people Dany and Bill lean on in a crisis speaks volumes. Neither Andre nor Hayley plans to sit on the sidelines amid this latest family crisis, allowing Bill and Dany to grow closer. However, for some reason, Dany and Bill are drawn to each other in a time of crisis. There's nothing like a health crisis to show one's true feelings, and that's precisely what Andre and Hayley fear happening with their spouses. Hayley has a master plan, and right now, Dany's putting that in jeopardy with her family's health crisis. That's why she's got no choice but to get rid of Dany, which could very well blow up her whole con to get Bill's money. Andre has fallen hard for Dany, but their marriage and relationship remain relatively new. He's already indicated that he isn't sure he knows how to support Dany the way she needs, and that will definitely cost him. There's also the possibility of a Bill and Dany reunion that would no doubt send shockwaves through Fairmont Crest. The exes suddenly finding comfort in each other means more than them just becoming friends after Bill's betrayal. Sparks are still flying between Dany and Bill, making the latest Dupri family crisis the ideal soap time to address their chemistry and unresolved feelings. The Wednesday, January 14th, spoilers for Beyond the Gate focus on Leslie's romantic interlude taking a dangerous turn. Meanwhile, the danger persists as Hayley continues to implement her deadly plan, and Joey consults with Bill on a legal matter. Leslie's love life is about to get turbulent. The weekly spoilers reveal that her romantic interlude takes a dangerous turn. If she's experiencing romance, it's not with Teddy. It's most likely with the DMV's shadiest detective, Marcel Malone. Leslie has been working on getting funding for the free clinic. However, Marcel recently warned her about her partnership with Joey Armstrong. Does the danger aspect of their romantic interlude have to do with Joey? Or is this something unrelated? The danger continues with Hayley. She is frustrated with her husband. He can't seem to focus on her long enough for her to kill Bill. Instead, he runs over to Dany's to console her after learning of her test results. She may be conning him, but she will not be disrespected, so Hayley continues to enact her deadly plan. Meanwhile, Joey consults with Bill on a legal matter. These two can't stay away from each other. Joey recently tried to enlist Bill to run against Martin in the next election. The corrupt casino owner sees trouble coming for him should certain bills pass. Is Joey suddenly experiencing financial trouble? How can Bill help him? And more importantly, will Bill agree to help him? In the wake of Anita's cancer diagnosis and Dany testing positive for the BRCA gene, the Dupri sisters are about to get some more support. Their besties arrive on the scene. The teasers suggest Vanessa shows up for a friend in need. This has to be Nicole, who is struggling with her mom's illness and the fact that she doesn't have the BRCA gene, but her sister does. As for Dany, Pamela bolsters her bestie. It has been a minute since we last saw Katie McLean's Pamela, but there is no way she won't be there for her best friend and business partner. Beyond the Gates spoilers for the week of January 12 to 16 imply that two couples in Fairmont Crest will sizzle, while there's more cancer genetic marker testing on the horizon, and Anita Dupri will reach her limit. The next 5 days will prove to be pivotal for the CBS soap, so let's unpack all the drama fans should brace for. First off, Dany Dupri will continue to reel in the aftermath of her genetic marker test results. With that said, she'll have the support of her entire family behind her, including Anita. While Vernon Dupri will try to hide Dany's results at first, Anita will finally learn about what's happened and immediately be by her daughter's side. In addition, Dany will get a visit from bestie Pamela Curtis. So fans can expect to see some feel-good moments between the friends as Dany leans on her. Meanwhile, Nicole Dupri will spiral, as it sounds like she'll feel terrible that her sister and her nieces are going through all this. Nicole tested negative, so there might be some slightly guilty feelings on her part. It's not Nicole's fault at all, but that doesn't mean she won't feel terrible about how the dice have been rolled in this situation. Meanwhile, Chelsea Hamilton will reach out to her dad, Bill Hamilton, about her mom's test results, which will create a ton of chaos. BTG spoilers for the week of January 12th hint that Andre Richardson will stand firm on a situation, so it sounds like he'll put Bill in his place where Dany's concerned. Ted Richardson advised his nephew during the week of January 5 to 9th not allow Bill to take over the situation where Dany's concerned, so Andre will step up and step in. In addition, Dany and Hayley Hamilton will clash, so it sounds like Hayley will also let Dany know that she needs to turn to Andre, and not Bill, to lean on. Speaking of Hayley, Beyond the Gates spoilers indicate that she'll continue with her plan to off Bill, but there's a chance he may be on to her little scheme. The CBS soap's weekly preview seems to imply that Bill will stop Hayley in her tracks when she encourages him to drink some tea. So is this a dream or reality? As the week progresses, Chelsea and Naomi Hawthorne will get tested for the genetic markers, and they may get the results sooner rather than later. By the time Friday, January 16th hits, Chelsea will have big news for her family, as Jacob Hawthorne will pressure Naomi about something. Is this about therapy? He's been pushing the idea lately, so only time will tell. Elsewhere, Anita will feel very overwhelmed. Between her own breast cancer battle, treatments, and these genetic marker tests, Anita will be pushed to her limit. With that said, she's a fighter, and there is no way she'll let a little drama get her down. On to some spicy news. Beyond the Gates spoilers for the week of January 12th note. Ashley Morgan will go out on a date with Grayson Perez, as Jordi Villasuso debuts on the CBS soap. The new character, a lab technician with some secrets of his own, will first appear on the Tuesday, January 13th show, and it sounds like he and Ashley could hit the sheets right off the bat. BTG spoilers hint that the vanilla nurse will give both Naomi and Shanice Johnson an update the day after, so she'll have some steamy details to share with her two closest friends. Still, there will be some drama for Ashley as the weekend approaches. It sounds like Grayson, Ashley, and Derek Baldwin will have an awkward run-in, and the firefighter won't be happy at what he sees. In addition, Shanice and Ted may also hit the sheets, as BTG spoilers note that they, too, will have a heated encounter. Speaking of Ted, he'll have a request for Eva Thomas that will add some drama to her sisterly relationship with Catherine Cat Richardson, so it'll be interesting to see what he asks. As the week progresses, Isaiah Hawthorne will be by Eva's side to comfort her about something, so what does Ted want his other daughter to do exactly? Finally, Joey Lindstrom will need some legal help from Bill, as Leslie Thomas's romance with Detective Marcel Malone takes a dangerous turn. Beyond the Gates spoilers hint that the week of January 12th, 16 will be jam-packed with some drama, romance, and very emotional moments, so fans need to tune into 5 incredible shows ahead. Beyond the Gates 2-week spoilers for January 12th to 3rd. 2026 expose Bill Hamilton just snapping. He has had enough, and Joey Armstrong makes some serious threats. Monday, January 12th, we are in Season 2 and on Episode 7 of BTG. Chelsea Hamilton calls her dad, Bill Hamilton, with an urgent update. It's an SOS. I think Chelsea is going to tell Bill that they got their test results back. Well, the first layer of test results. And Dany Dupri does have the BRCA gene. Andre Richardson, meanwhile, has to draw a line in the sand. It sounds like Bill might try and run over to play hero hubby, but that is Andre's job now, not Bill's. Dr. Ted Richardson already advised Andre to kick Bill back into his lane, and I expect to see that happen. I can't wait for it. Dr. Nicole Dupri Richardson is there as a good big sister to comfort Dany. Of course, Nicole is very scared for what this means for her little sister. Carlton and Ted have a talk that's going to be awkward but also is long overdue. I get Carlton's side, thinking, oh well, Nicole's single now. She dumped Ted. I can date her. But Carlton is Ted's longtime partner, and he's clearly in violation of the bro code. I think Carlton and Nicole are going to do what they want to do, and Ted be damned. Naomi Hamilton Hawthorne needs a favor from someone ASAP. Is it about her mom, Anita Dupri's or Dany's results, maybe? Or maybe it's about getting her own test done urgently. This week, Donna Leslie Thomas tells Joey in a very snarky way that she knows all about Vanessa McBride. She's clearly making some catty comments because Joey tells Leslie he's had people killed for saying things like that. Joey grabs up his jacket and storms away from her at Uptown. I wonder if Leslie just lost her investor in the clinic because she was running her mouth about Joey's woman. Trisha Mann Grant is such a good actress. I know she's a perfectly lovely lady, but Leslie is so awful. She makes your skin crawl because she's just such a good actress. Tuesday, January 13th. It's Season 2, Episode 8 of Beyond the Gates. Jacob Hawthorne has a heart-to-heart chat with his dad, Elon. I'm sure he's catching him up on the Anita and Dany news and the fact his own wife may have this BRCA gene. I wonder if this might inspire Elon to chill out a little bit on Isaiah, because this is a reminder that life's short. We don't get forever with the people in our family and the people we love. Ashley Morgan is out on a date with Grayson Perez. He is an absolute hunk who works with her at the hospital. He also has a mom that he takes care of. He's super sexy, super sweet, and this is Grayson Perez's Beyond the Gates debut. I loved him over on Young and the Restless, but unfortunately, they killed off his character, Ray Rosales, a few years ago. Anita is home from her first chemo session, and of course, she's going to find out that Dany is positive for the BRCA gene. Nicole is negative, but mostly, Anita finds out that Vernon Dupri lied to her face when she asked if there were test results, and he said no. Now, I understand that he didn't want Anita upset over that while she was getting her chemo drip, but she is not going to have it, and she's going to lay into Vernon. Nicole is spiraling while the Dupri rally around not only Anita, but also Dany, who's devastated and scared. This week, Bill asks Joey when he's up at his office, "Why are you here?" Joey says, "It's complicated." Bill says this might be a little more fun than he thought. If you remember, he could be circling back around about the political stuff. Or Joey may be asking Bill for help dealing with the paperwork for the clinic he's agreed to invest in with Leslie. I'm actually hoping that Joey finds a way to screw her over. But Joey may also back out of the deal because Leslie is disrespecting Vanessa. On Wednesday, January 14th, Season 2, Episode 9 of Beyond the Gates, we've got Hayley Lawson keeping on with her plot to kill Bill and get that big payday and the house in the Caribbean. When she pours him a cup of that hot toxic tea, he tells Hayley that he's not drinking any of her poison. But no, Bill is not onto her scam. He's just tired of drinking the tea that doesn't taste great. You'd think she'd put a little sugar in there, or a little vanilla, something to cover up for whatever it is that she's dosing him with. Plus, Vanessa is there for a friend in need. It's probably Nicole, but it could be Dany. Meanwhile, Pamela is there to support Dany, who's obviously scared for her mom, herself, and her girls. Plus, Leslie's got Marcel back at her hotel room. Leslie's getting freaky when she snatches Marcel's gun from his holster. Leslie's taking aim with it and saying that he has a lot to learn about her. Also this week, Naomi tells Ashley at the hospital she's had blood work done more times than she can count. In this case, it could really change everything. Chelsea is also up to meet Naomi at the hospital to get her gene testing done at the same time. They are hugging in support, but obviously they're scared again for Anita, for Dany, and for themselves. Thursday, January 15th on Beyond the Gates, it's Season 2, Episode 10. We've got Dany clashing with Hayley, who is being insensitive about the Dupri family crisis. She loves to tell Bill that the Dupris aren't his family and that she is his only family. But this hits close to home for Bill because his daughters might have that BRCA gene and be at very high risk of cancer. Of course, Hayley's going to be jealous over any concern that Bill shows for Dany and any attention he's paying to his daughters. Ted asks Eva Thomas to do something that will put her in a bad spot with Catherine "Cat" Richardson yet again. I wonder if it's something to do with the Dupris and this cancer crisis, or if it's something to do with Cotillion and Samantha since she's involved. Jessica has a proposition for Tyrell. This may be more on the Cotillion issue, or she may be pushing him on something else. Martin Richardson and Bradley "Smitty" Smith do not like this girl Jessica, yanking their son Tyrell around and taking charge of him. Ashley updates Naomi and Shanice. It may be about her hot date, or it could be about Naomi's testing. I'm betting Vernon's going to use his influence to get those tests back on his grandbabies as soon as possible. Plus, Anita reaches her limit. This may be when she storms into Dany's house. Andre is yelling out that Dany may not be dressed yet, trying to alert her that her mom's there, but Anita doesn't stop. She keeps heading for the bedroom as Vernon's standing there with Andre. Anita is really irritated and tells Andre that she brought Dany into this world. Does he think she hasn't seen her naked behind? On Friday, January 16th, we're going to end the week on Beyond the Gates with Season 2, Episode 11. Derek Baldwin does not like what he sees, so he may spot Ashley out with Grayson. Also this week, Ashley's asking Grayson if he knows how some people can tie a cherry stem with their tongue. Apparently, that's one of her party tricks. He asks if she's going to do it there at Uptown, but Ashley says back at her apartment. Are she and Grayson going to leave? Obviously headed for the bed? Derek gets really jealous. Chelsea shares some news with the family. It could be about her test results or something with her and Madison. Ted and Shanice are really heating up. Looney Leslie isn't going to like that. Isaiah comforts Eva, and Naomi feels like Jacob is pressuring her. If Naomi is BRCA positive, I wonder if Jacob might push her to freeze her eggs. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you!